Welcome back to the uh, Query Builder series, part 7. Today is Wednesday, July 27th. It has been probably, I don't know, maybe a week or maybe a little bit less than that. Don't remember since I last made one of these. There's a part 6.5 where I talk about some of the things that I've done in the meantime because I was busy fixing bugs and I've also kind of just taken a break for a couple days. Haven't really felt like doing much on it, but I'm ready to pick it back up. I don't think that I'm going to be able to finish it in this one. Probably, I don't think that that was the plan originally, anyways. But I have been thinking about it some more, and there's some changes, some additional changes that I want to make to what we have currently before we get too far. So um, this is just more of the same of me, kind of just being non-committal, I suppose. So um, I'm trying to think. We left off writing those string format functions, and then the next step that we were going to take after that was writing some functions to insert like sentence parts or query fragments into groups so that we could organize them. And before I continue with that, I do want to make some changes to just some of our data structures. So let me go ahead and find that file real quick. Wherever it is. Here it is. Okay. Okay, so yeah, here's our format functions here. So let's see, we finished up to formatting the sentence tree so that we can. I'm trying to remember kind of what I was doing. Um, so that we can put it into this widget sentence branch data type here. So what I wanted to do is actually kind of rework this data type a little bit. The original plan with these widgets is that they were kind of just going to be like parallel kind of type wrappers to syntax tree types, like this sentence tree, and then this was basically just going to be a request from the AST module. What I think I actually kind of want to do now is, instead of having these be like parallel types, is have it be kind of like a type extension. So they're, you know, I don't really know how to explain it right, but um, we kind of want to have something like this structure, but as a tree, right? So like our AST here has a couple of different tree-like kind of structures, right? Like our sentence tree has a node, and then it has a branch, which is just a list of trees. Um, and then like our term is kind of like that too. I want to do something similar to that here, and the reason for that is um, it might just help generalize some of our functions on the front end. So like I'll just keep it simple, and then we've got I don't know, D union E intersect F. Like, just, say we've got this for now. Um, so like right now, what we can do, right, is we can reorder these things. We can move them around like that, no problem. But then when we get to the point where we're able to drag and drop things out of this subquery, it would be nice to be able to reorder things in there as well. And so that's what I'm thinking, is that we have, if we can redo this kind of data structure, then not only will we be able to reorder this, but we'll also be able to kind of drag and drop and reorder and delete things from these subqueries in the same way. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. That thought kind of came to me, I don't know, earlier today or maybe later yesterday. So I think that might be something worth looking into. And of course, we could do that now. But if we kind of rework our data a little bit, then we can have a more general implementation, which will make things easier. So I think I'm trying to think. Um, Pretty much like this type and this type are going to be merged. Like those are going to be maybe two different constructors for the same type. So this is gonna take a little bit of time to think about it, but I think that's kind of what I wanted to look into now. So once again, like, forward movement on this feature is taking a little bit of a backseat to kind of trying to experiment with things, but I suppose that's kind of how it usually goes. So we'll just make some new types, just to mess around. Before I do that, I've got a beer with me. I'm gonna have some of that. So we've got this whole query here, which in the AST is just represented as a request. And as we remember, a request is just a list of these kind of sentences, this A, B, C, and then this thing too. So we want to be able to reorder these components, so each one of these sentences is like a node in that request, right? So this is kind of a singular node, and then we have this guy here, which is also a node in itself, because we can move it around like that. So it's also its own node, but it also has nodes inside of itself that should be treated the same as these. So like even in the future, what we can do is take this and then just drop it onto B, and then that'll create something like that, so we can kind of extend it even further to make our query groupings even more general than they were going to be, at least from what I remember from the work that I've done. Like I said, I haven't really looked at this for a couple days now, so I have to try to kind of remember where we're at. Excuse me. So yeah, I think that's kind of what I want to do. So I'm not going to try to just like copy and paste or move these. I'm just going to create a whole new type, and then we can kind of figure it out as we go. So I'd like to have a better name than having like widget sentence and widget query and stuff. That's kind of cumbersome, I think. So I think we can just call it a request, right? So we have this top level request, and then basically our new type can basically just be an extension of that. So our new type could be a request tree. I think that might be good. Request tree. Request is parameterized, but since this is all in the front end, I'm gonna keep it unparameterized and just have it be text. So we've got a request node here. Spell correctly. Request node. I'm trying to think, since this is going to be kind of a sum type like this, request tree, it's gonna have some type like that. It might not be the best idea to like use records for these. I think it's generally kind of bad form to use records for these types with multiple constructors unless they're all going to have the same thing. But I think actually, I think that's fine for this. So yeah, we'll go ahead and just continue on with these records. So we've got this request text is our text, right? That's going to be what's displayed. I'm just copying these fields for both of these. So request, I'll call it sentence, because this is going to be our actual node, so this is a sentence tree. Request count, it's an int, and then a request ID, it's also an int, like that. Our request trees are going to be very similar to that, so we're going to just do a request text. I'm thinking maybe it would be better to have each of these fields be like discrete functions instead of this because like this field, right, is not going to have an analog for this constructor, so that's going to be kind of a partial function. It might not be such a good idea to do that. Or we could come up with a sum type that would work for both of these fields. I think that would really be okay to kind of keep it like it is, right? Because this sentence branch has a list of sentence trees, and that's the exact same as this request new type. And a sentence tree can contain a list of sentence trees. So I think that these can actually both be of this type. It might be kind of weird though if I do that. I don't know. I'll show you what I mean. Request. I'm going to change this to contents. If we change this to request tree, right, obviously that's a type error, but I'm going to change this to a okay, see, yeah, so I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. This is the kind of thing that I like would definitely do just by myself while I'm coding, and it would take probably like a couple hours of me kind of just messing around to come up with something that I like, but it would be full of me making like, you know, just like coming up with stupid ideas like that. So I don't know, this might be another one of those videos where I spend the whole time messing around and then come up with something that's actually useful later on, and then next video I just tell you about what I did. That reminds me real quick though. Right, I wanted I wanted to change this to intersect by default, right? Talking to Guardian about that makes more sense for that default to be intersect. I don't know why that reminded me of that, but I hadn't changed that, so I want to make sure I do. I'm actually gonna commit that real quick. I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place right now. Okay. All right, let's get back to the task at hand, right? So back pain is something fierce today, I can tell you that. All right. What I want actually is to get rid of this type and only use this type, but then extend this type so that it's a sequence instead of a list. I'm pretty sure. So, excuse me, data, excuse me. Man, I'm terrible at coming up with names. Whatever. we'll just lean into the widget name scheme, even though I don't like it. All right. Yeah, we're basically just going to re-implement this type, honestly. That's already a widget sentence branch. I'm going to use that. This is not a permanent name, I promise. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna keep that. Right. That's a list. That's supposed to be a list. This is what I want to change to a sequence. I want that to be a sequence. And not a list. Reasoning for that is that we can index and stuff on it, which like you can index on a list, and, you know, and things like that in Haskell. I really prefer not to do that sort of thing. You know, like obviously there's a whole performance thing of like if you're trying to get the last element of a linked list, right? Like it is not that good performance wise, but like I mean, you know, we're going to be dealing with queries that are maybe this long, so like that's not really a huge issue, but it's more of just kind of a style and principle thing that I think lists in Haskell are really not meant for that. Even though you can, I feel strongly that you're not supposed to do that. There's a reason that you don't see that very often with the lists in Haskell, because it's just you're not supposed to do that. Like you would use a sequence if you want to be able to index something, or you know, just like a map or something like that. Man, I don't know. I feel like this video is really bad so far. I don't really have a clear idea of like what I'm trying to do, or really have any idea of where I want to go with this. I mean, I know what I want to do, but I'm not really sure a good way to do it. We called that event by some other name somewhere. Try to find that. I mean, we call that a query node here, so I think I might change that name. It's for the sake of consistency and to clear up our namespace a little bit. Look at all that crap in there. Let's see, widget query node. Okay, that's the widget. Okay, I think that's fine. Let's try it out. Damn it. Hold on. I want that to be case sensitive. I should really be doing all of this like off video. I should maybe like have a better idea of the implementation that I want to do. before I decide to start making a video. Oh man, widget query node text. Okay, let's try that out. Because it's like not exciting. Code videos should be exciting more than anything. Widget query node. This is just going to be widget query node. If it's not exciting, why bother? Oh, did I just rename that whole thing? I think that's fine. I'll try building it, see if there's any problems. I think that's okay. Widget query node widget. Alright. Okay. Well, we got some renaming done. That's good. I would really like for this sentence tree to be a sequence instead of a list. There's not really necessarily a good reason, I think, but go ahead and commit that, just because there's a lot of renaming going on. Okay, we're gonna make this guy here. Widget sentence node. This is just a sentence set, I'm pretty sure. I was thinking if I wanted it to just be a wrapper for tree. Pretty sure I don't want to do that though. That's a sentence set. Branch setup sequence of trees. Okay. We want to change this guy to this. Here, now we just got to change some of these. Right, and this is essentially the exact same as this type, so there shouldn't really be any issues with doing this. We just have to adjust some types. So what is that? That's a sentence tree. We want to change that to a widget sentence tree. Sentence tree setup lens. We want this to be a widget sentence tree lens. Widget sentence branch. Oh, hold on. Man, I'm having a rough time with it tonight. I can tell you that. I'm pretty sure that this lens is one that we want to change. Okay, what is this? Widget sentence tree. Okay, so case of widget sentence node. Then here's our sentence set, which has our setup. Is that right? Did I mess something up? I must have. I don't think I'm thinking straight. It has a sentence set. Man. Widget sentence tree. That's right. Here's our... I just gotta comment this stuff out. That's so annoying. It's like Haskell language server, you know, if there's like one inconvenient error in the module, it just decides that it doesn't want to do any more work for you. I'm just gonna comment those constructors out as I work on this. Okay, what is the problem? It found some errors in other modules, so it decides that it also wants to continue not working. What is the deal with that? Jeez. I don't know why, like, it's not showing me a type hint for whatever that hole is, right? But it's a sentence set. I know that much. It should be telling me that. Sentence set takes a set operator and a sentence. Return that. It's what I had before. I don't know what the problem was, but, you know, it's the way she goes. Okay. There's our getter. We powered through and we got it. Oh, jeez. Okay. Let's see. And then now what? This is the same thing. It would just be this. That does not have a record, so we can't do that. It's going to be widget sentence node sentence set oh, that was right. That was correct. Okay, and then okay. We're getting there slightly. Widget query node, so let's see. Because that is a widget query node. Widget query node returns. We want this here. We want that there, right? So now we need a function that'll take a widget sentence tree and then go to a sentence tree. So the good news is that our widget sentence tree and our sentence tree are isomorphic with each other, right? Or not quite isomorphic, but very similar, because this is unparameterized, but you know, basically the same thing, right? So let's go to I don't know what I should call the function. Unwidget sentence tree. Sure. Unwidget sentence tree. Not like I'm going to be using this outside of this module anyways. So let's see. We've got this guy here. So let's do a case st of widget. Oops. Widget sentence node. There's our set, and this is just going to be a sentence node of that. And then this is going to be a sentence branch SO of sequence dot toList, or is that foldable toList dot map does sequence have a map? If not, we can just use something else. Unwidget sentence tree ust. Alright. Oh, we're using sequence unqualified, right? I don't have foldable is also unqualified. Man, I shouldn't have done that. That really should be qualified. Okay, here's what we're gonna do for this, just for no particular reason at all. There we go. Do that. There we go. There's our unwidget sentence tree function. Now, here we can just put it there. Like so. There's our type saved right there. Go ahead and export that again. This guy. We also need the equivalent injective function, if you will. But again, not really injective. Actually, it is. So the sentence tree is injective to a widget sentence tree, but it's not isomorphic with it, if you will. Okay. Nope, that's not what I want to do. I don't want a pattern match. I want a case match. Case st of sentence node of our sentence set, widget sentence node, and then our sentence branch. That's just our tree there. This is here is our widget. Branch, widget sentence branch, yep. Dot from list, and then to widget sentence tree. Sequence, we need to add that right there. Okay, there we go. And as we can see, very similar. There actually is a type class for injective and isomorphic types. It's not in the standard library, so I kind of prefer not to use it. But it basically just does the same thing as this. It has the injective type class has a to method, and then isomorphic has a from. right? So we could very easily just have an orphan instance of sentence tree injective to widget sentence tree, but it would have to be this text. So I don't know. Maybe it's also not injective. It's type theory or some kind of nerd stuff like that. I don't care. Okay, let's see. What is going on with this here? Our sentence tree setup lens is still not quite right. Oh, of course, right, because I got rid of that lens and changed it to widget sentence tree. So hold on, I'm going to have to adjust that. What is this? Sentence branch. STS here is our list of sentence trees. Widget sentence branch. I'm gonna really have to come back and revisit this because I feel like I'm making kind of a mess of things. To widget sentence tree. Okay, our sentence tree setup lens. So I'll just make an additional one, right? It really is kind of unfortunate. I shouldn't have got rid of that. Rather, that already is a sentence tree setup lens. This needs to be some A, don't care what. Okay, there's our lens remade. Okay. I think that fixes our type problems from making our new type. Things are sufficiently messed around with now. Let's see. So, I don't know what the problem with that is. This is not in scope. I do not know. I do not know what the issue with that was, to be honest. Okay. Now what's going on? That's our sentence branch. Always a good idea to avoid name shadowing if you can, right? I don't know, ST prime. If that's really all that helpful. We'll do the same here. How's that? Right? Super nice. Man, I don't know. I feel like usually I can kind of, get by a little bit coding while I'm drinking, but it's just not happening for me very well tonight. So, I don't know. I would expect probably a good amount of this to change between now and next video as I go back and look over it between. Let's see, we're at 40 minutes, so uh I don't know. I think I'll probably call it on this one and then probably make another one tomorrow. So yeah, hopefully this one isn't too bad. Um we made basically no real progress, but one thing that we can do just while we're here, is hopefully we can run it and it all works the same. I can't imagine why it wouldn't because our types are all plugged in correctly, but maybe that's a good way to end the video. Let's find a nice one, right? Hold on. There we go. Nice. Not bad. Right? Alright, thanks for watching.